Hello again, welcome to part 2 of the process to go to Australia. So remember we started off with part 1 and we've moved on to part 2 so that the video just doesn't become too long, it doesn't become too overwhelming. We're the Banda family and this is our channel, Traveling on Budget, and I'm here with my wife, God bless, and we're just going to be talking to you about our process of migrating to Australia.
Yes, so we left when TRA was out. So yeah, now TRA is out. Australian visa step number 2. We had to write English. They want you to write IELTS, the international English. So yeah, IELTS is not just English, guys. IELTS, some people think that, I've been speaking English since I was 2 years old, so I can easily pass IELTS. But IELTS is like an English system. It is run by the British Council, the British Council. Yeah, it is run by the British Council, and so they normally test grammar, and it has got like 4 parts that you have to sit for. There's reading, there's speaking, there's listening, and there's writing. And they have got like bands. So sometimes for whatever use you're going to use for that English, weight is being required. They might say we want a band of 8, or they may say we want a minimum band of 7.5 with at least 6.5 and 7s in each and every component. So this English is used in a lot of things. There's academic, if you're going to study at a university, so you have to write academic English. If it's just for general communication, it will be professional. It will be general. It will be general English. So there are also other types of English that is acceptable, like Cambridge English and PTE. And I'm not really sure about other types of English because I set for IELTS. I know IELTS, it is the one that I set for. So we had to register for IELTS. And for our visa, if you had like a higher band of 8 in IELTS, you would get like 10 points. If you just have like English, and I think they required 7.5, I'm no longer sure, for the main applicant, and for me I think they just required like 6.5 in general English. So it wasn't a really tight score for me, but we wanted more points. Remember, the more points we have, the better chances you have for getting this visa. So it was my husband who set for his IELTS first. I think it was an equivalent of around $250 at that time, and he first set for his IELTS in Harare. So can you tell us what happened at your IELTS exam, how it goes?
Sure, so with IELTS, the way I understood it is like my wife has explained that it's 4 parts. So there's the listening, there's the writing, there's the reading, and the speaking components. So one thing that I might explain is with the listening component, it's you have headphones or earphones over your head, and you have someone speaking like an audio recording. So there will be people with different accents, different English backgrounds. So you might have someone from an Asian background who's also relaying information or giving you directions through a map. speak. So as you can imagine, their accent when they speak English will be different. You might have a British person also giving you instructions or telling you something else, and you might have an American. So when you're listening, it's really testing all the various accents, and it's really picking your ability to listen with intent, listen to understand. So at the same time, while they're talking about a few things, they're also checking that you also have to be picking out the answers as you go. So as you're doing your listening at the same time as you're writing. I think it was a 30-minute exam. So you're listening and answering questions at the same time. The writing is more of comprehension. So you have a topic and you have to demonstrate your writing skills, your vocabulary. So remember, the intent is to communicate. So they are not really marked on verbosity or the complexity of your English, but really you are marked on your ability to communicate basic ideas, looking at the correct punctuation, where you need to put full stops, spellings, grammar, all those basic things. A simple paragraph construct with an introduction as well as a conclusion kind of thing. So you also go into your what else was I? Speaking. So speaking is where you have an examiner sitting across the desk and really just have a conversation with you about what exactly you will be writing about your life. So I remember my question that I got first was, tell me of your favorite holiday destination and why. So we're not looking for one-word answers. What they're looking for is really an extended version of your response to demonstrate your English capabilities to communicate an idea. Yeah, pretty much that's all I remember. So my first IELTS exam in Harare, I think I got 7s and 8s across the board, and I didn't do well in my writing, my comprehension. I can't tell you what it was. Could have been my handwriting, could have been my poor spelling, poor grammar, or anything of that sort. So I didn't get it's above 7.5. I think I got a 6.5 then, and I got 8 in listening and speaking, and I think I got a 7.5 in the other component. Just didn't get the other element of writing above 6.5 on my first attempt. So IELTS, I think I continued to sit because remember we've spoken about the Australian visa being a competitive system where you gain points for age, you gain points for your level of education, you gain points for having a qualification that is on the skills demand list, and you also get points for your English, and you also get points for your partner being either qualified or having English language. So really our best alternative was to resit the examination. It was good enough to go in for an application, but that wasn't our best attempt. So I set IELTS again for the second time, third time, and on the fourth time lucky. Imagine fourth time lucky, and each time we were paying, I think by then it was $340 because there were a lot of people writing IELTS, and we couldn't get an opportunity to book either in Bulawayo or in Harare. So we ended up just booking in Zambia because that's where availability was to write IELTS. So I got it on the fourth time lucky, and that was in Zambia. Sweet.
Yes, for me, IELTS, remember I wasn't the main applicant, so they just wanted like 6.5. So we were channeling all the money that we had in the house for Daddy to write IELTS. So we couldn't like both of us take this exam at the same time. So yeah, after he had passed his IELTS, that's when I went to Zambia. I actually flew for the first time to Zambia. Yeah, I flew Emirates. That was the first time that I got on an aeroplane. I flew Emirates, and went to Zambia. It was the shortest flight ever. Like, I didn't even have the chance to have tea. They were serving tea, but by the time they were like getting to me, the plane was already starting to do the landing procedures. So it was a very short flight to Zambia. Yeah, so from Harare to Lusaka, I flew and I stayed at this hotel, and yeah, I think it was a good hotel. It was in the city, and where I sat for my exam was somewhere close to the bus terminus. It was some center for business. I can't remember really. It's a long time back. Yeah, but my exam, I met other Zimbabweans at that exam. I think I met like 4 other Zimbabweans, and I also met a friend who became family. She was already here in Australia. I met her there in Zambia, and we exchanged numbers. Yeah, we still in touch. She's a good sister of mine. So yeah, for me, I remember I was for our listening test, they played an audio through the speaker. So they had like huge speakers. We didn't have any earphones. There were huge speakers that they were playing in audio, and so with listening you have to be very fast, because you'll be filling in your answers as they are playing the audio. So you really have to be very fast, writing down the blanks and listening at the same time. For my speaking, I had this. I think it was some sort of a lecture. He was just giving like lecturer vibes of a uni. Yeah, this male who was asking me about. He asked me about the difference between communication in males and females. Yeah, so that was the question. Like the first question was, tell us your name. Tell us